Hello everyone, and welcome back to another playthrough of The Deed. I'm your host, CoffeeIncoming. Been trying out some of catchphrase things. I don't think I'm gonna go with catchphrases. It feels a little cheesy, feels a little corny. Maybe you've been making fun of me if you've watched them. That's fair. I would have made fun of me too. I'd have been like, what is this big old dummy dumb doing trying to make catchphrases? Okay, but anyway, so we're doing another playthrough of The Deed. My first playthrough did not go well. I was arrested and convicted for murder. Convicted? I think that's the right word. Anyway, so we're gonna skip the intro. If you haven't seen the intro, go ahead. You can watch that on my Twitch channel, or you can watch it on my YouTube channel if you want to watch that. But we're going to skip the intro. We're going to see what we can do here. Alright, so my last playthrough, if you remember, I was kind of Lord Douchington. This time, I think we're going to take the nice route. I think we're going to try that. Good evening, Mr. Aaron. May I take your coat? Of course you may. Yes, take the blasted wet thing off me. Well, that wasn't nice. You're new, aren't you? Sophia's my name. I recognize you from pictures, Mr. Aaron. I'm not new exactly. I've been employed by your family for almost a year. It's just that you've never visited before. Well, I've been busy. My work keeps me very busy, unfortunately. I understand. I've been away from my family a lot since I started this job. You're here now, and I'm sure you are eager to meet with the others. Your father's in the library on the left, and your mother is in the parlor, which is on your right. Your sister is upstairs in the room. Ooh, we're gonna get flirty. Ooh. And what if I want to join you for some pleasant company? Oh, she's not interested. Oh, I will be in the kitchen preparing dinner. I'll sound the bell when dinner is served. Well, maybe I'll come and follow you, Missy. Walking into the pantry, you begin to salivate at the promising scent of roast beef coming from the kitchen beyond. Oh, hello, Mr. Aaron. Is there something I can do for you? Alright, we're getting away from creepy. Well, I don't know. It's hard to tell from text if she's interested. Let's see. I'm sure you can do lots of things for me, lovely. Yes, there is something you can do for me. You can pucker up... Whoa, I didn't say that. You can pucker up those pretty lips of yours and give me a kiss. Mr. Aaron, please, that is highly inappropriate. Oh, well, I'm not going to go down the path of being a little rapey. We're just going to apologize and move on. I'm sorry, I must have misread the situation. I thought perhaps you wanted to have some fun. It's quite alright, Mr. Aaron. These things happen. I'm sorry, I must get back to work now. I will ring the bell when dinner's ready. Oh, I feel really bad now. I'm sorry. Okay. Well, I'm very sorry. To be fair, I know she's in a relationship with my sister at this point. You know what? We're going to start with Papa again. We're going to talk to Pops. Hey, Daddy. Daddy. Even now, the familiar musty smell of your father's library fills you with dread as you step inside. You have too many bad memories of this room. Hello, Father. You told me you'd never enter this house again, boy. Why are you here? To see you, of course, Father. Happy birthday. It's obvious why I'm here. I want to put all that unpleasantness behind us and wish you a happy 50th birthday. Happy? You honestly think this is a happy day for me? Another day when I can watch my life's work crumble into nothing. Another day to see our bloodline slit its own throat. Alright, that is dramatic. You know how to make me happy. Move back to Dunchill. Take your proper place and do your damn duty. Well, look, we're being polite in this one, so I'm gonna give in to what Pops wants. I will consider it. If my sister is put into care, if I were to move back to Dunchill, I would have certain expectations. And what expectations would those be? Firstly, I refuse to suffer your daily insults. You would need to learn to be more decent towards me. Secondly, I want my sister to be put into care where she belongs. I cannot live with her insanity for another day. You wouldn't like that, wouldn't you? You obnoxious little shit. Selling out your own blood? Those are my terms. Well, you know what you can do with your terms. The nerve of you. You're the same snot-nosed brat you always were, boy. Obviously, I didn't give enough discipline as a child. If you can't be civil... Look, I'm going to walk away from the situation. If you can't be civil, I'll take my leave. I can see you are determined to be impossible. I think we had better end this discussion now. You are the impossible one, boy, as always. But I think you're probably right about one thing. This conversation is pointless, and now it's over. Get out of here. Oh, let's go see Mom. I tried. That dude is just the worst. I'm sorry, but he really is. You know what? I think we're going to try the same technique. What can I do for you? You seem quite distressed about something. I do? Well, your concerns are my concerns. Come now, George. We've known each other for many years. If something is troubling you, I want to hear about it. If you insist, sir. Ever since the new maid arrived, I feel like I'm being nudged towards early retirement. She is obviously being trained to become the new housekeeper. She's taking over my responsibilities one by one. I've tried discussing the matter with your mother, but it's no use. She hasn't been herself lately. But please, don't trouble yourself about it, sir. I probably shouldn't have said anything at all. What's wrong with my mother? In what way is my mother not herself? Ever since your sister's condition has become worse, your mother has become rather cold and withdrawn. Your sister has gone through difficult spells before, but it has never affected your mother quite like this. There was a darkness that I've never seen in her before. I should say no more. Please excuse me, sir. I'm being civil. I thought I smelled a rat. Have you come to see me, little rat? I'm not a rat. I'm your brother. No. How are you feeling? Hello, Jennifer. How have you been? How have I been? What an odd thing for a little rat to ask. Normally they say, squeak, squeak. Good one, Jennifer. You got me. You used to have a pet rat, didn't you? Remember what I did to him? That doesn't have anything to do. I just asked you how you are. Oh, how he squeaks. Such a great pain for such a little creature. What did you want to talk to me about, little rat? Mother seems very worried about you. Mother says your condition's been getting worse. My condition? What condition? I don't have a condition. You want to have me sent away, don't you? Well, it won't work. It won't, I tell you. Go away. I don't want to speak to you anymore. Jeez, we barely spoke. Yo, I'm just gonna say it. Jennifer is nuts. I don't even know what I did. I wonder if I can get any more cutscenes like that. Alright, so we're going to try the same thing that we did in the last one. Except my attitude is completely changed, because it seems like my attitude is what threw them off. Like, he was like, nah, I'm not feeling your attitude, so you're going to jail. Alright, so if we're going to do the same thing... we need to go grab her undergarments. And then... I'm going to take that mirror. Or maybe the mirror is like too obvious. Maybe we switch that up. Wait. Okay. Items. Oh, not yet. Okay. Alright, yeah, let's just take the mirror. Yeah, we'll try putting the blame on her again. Wait, no, take it. Okay. So we're gonna be very polite at dinner. Very civil indeed. Yes, ma'am. But, madame! Oh, what is it, George? I must protest. It has always been my duty to pour the wine at the dinner. Well, I don't want to cause any trouble. Nonsense. What does it matter, George? Stop being overly pedantic. But I... He just wants to look down your dress, okay? Yeah, you know what? I'm concerned. Don't you think you've had enough, Mother? Careful, Mother. If you drink much more, you might end up embarrassing yourself. Aaron, what a rude little rat. Oh, I didn't mean it in a rude way. I was trying to be helpful. Yes, he is. Why can't you ever keep your mouth shut, boy? Perhaps I did speak out of turn. I apologize. You're right. I'm sorry. I must have had too much wine myself. Better not let it happen again. Sophia, could you come here, please? I just wanted to say that was the loveliest meal I've ever tasted. I don't know how you do it. You cunning pixie. You were too kind, miss. Of course, I will have tea and cakes for you in the drawing room as usual after dinner. Oh, you were so good to me, you sweet thing. So very, very good to me. I don't mind some of your hotcakes. I won't have any, thank you. I couldn't eat another bite. Well, you weren't offered any, so there. Please, Jennifer, let's all try and be civil. Anyway, let's not forget why we are here tonight, to celebrate your father's birthday, such a very important occasion for us all. You are so dear to us, Malcolm. Happy birthday. Indeed, happy birthday, Father. Let's hope it will be one to remember. Okay. I couldn't do that to George, right? Alright, here we go. Let's try again. Yes. No time for biddies. Alright. Does it help if I go and talk to people? No, he doesn't have anything to say to me. I couldn't remember if I did it last time. Alright, well, let's go do the deed. Are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. You see Jennifer staring out the window ahead of you, lost in one of her strange moods. She hasn't noticed you enter the drawing room. Now is the time. Alright, same thing happens. I believe they found out. Chief Inspector's back. All right, here we go. Interview. Nope, nothing on me. Oh, I bet if I use my bare hands then he'd find stuff on me. I mean, not that that's incriminating. Maid said you and the butler arrived shortly after 7 o'clock and greeted you. The maid says that you had a rather inappropriate remark of sexual nature towards her. This leads me to question your character, I'm afraid. I think I just own up. No. She's lying. I would never do such a thing. Later, you went to speak to the maid again, which is curious. Why did you decide to visit the kitchen? I wanted to know when dinner would be served. Yeah, that makes sense. I understand that you made some unwanted advances towards the maid in the kitchen, but later apologized for your behavior. What? I never did that! Maybe I should have just admitted to it. Later on, you had a conversation with your mother, Gloria, in the parlor. She told me that you were unusually cordial. Something about wanting to apologize and make amends. I was being sincere. So I wanted to clear the air between myself and my family. Do you think it is slightly suspicious that you suddenly wanted to reconcile after... I'm suspicious if I am mean, No, I don't think so. She says you spoke briefly about your sister. Apparently you seemed quite concerned about her well-being. We were worried my sister might attempt suicide. As she had attempted once before. She had she? I'll take a note of that. You went to see your father in the library. I understand your conversation became quite heated. I thought the conversation was civil. I thought I was civil. Very short fuse. Many of our conversations go that way. Would you say he's violent temper? Absolutely. I see. That's good to know. You discussed the prospect of your moving back to Dunshield. You said you would only move back if your sister was placed into a psychiatric care. For her own well-being, of course. I had her own best interests at heart. She belonged in care. You may be right, Mr. Bruce. However, you seem to be the only one who felt that way. Let's discuss your conversation with the butler. You spoke about your mother's recent moods, yes? He seemed very worried about her. My mother was having a very hard time dealing with my sister's condition, apparently. It sounded like she had been pushed to breaking point. Interesting. Did you speak to your sister before dinner? Yes, I did. Yes, I went into her room to see her. I see. And what did you discuss with her? We discussed her illness and her obsessions. Honestly, it was just nothing. Did that make you angry? To be honest, I was used to it from her. To the events that took place during dinner. Apparently you made a comment about your mother's drinking habits. For her own good, someone needed to comment. I felt I had to say something. I thought she was drinking far too much. Do you think this has anything to do with her difficulties in coping with your sister's condition? Almost certainly. Interesting. Now I need to ascertain your location at the time of your sister's death. Where were you? I was in my old bedroom. I see, thank you. We have completed our initial search of the property. The search did not turn up any items which gave me cause to suspect anyone in particular. I am curious about the murder weapon. The broken glass seems to have come from one of your sister's mirrors. We found the rest of it in the maid's room. We have established that you have been to the servants' quarters this evening. However, we can't rule out suicide, especially given your sister's mental condition and her obsession with murders. It is all very interesting. I will be completely honest with you now, Mr. Bruce. Frankly, your behavior leading to your sister's death concerns me a great deal. What? There is some suspicion regarding your father. I don't currently regard him as a serious suspect. I am slightly curious about the maid, but I doubt she was involved in this. I think it will also be taking another look at the evidence surrounding your mother. Despite her condition, I don't believe your sister committed suicide. Now, as for what happens next, I am placing you under arrest on suspicion of murder, not again! And I will need to be speaking to your mother again. The verdict sees... Oh my gosh! I can't get out of here. No. Okay. Okay, one more. One more. We're gonna try something different. Alright, we're gonna be polite. We're gonna skip through this. I've been busy. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for your help, Sophia. You're very welcome, Mr. Ed. I'll be in the kitchen preparing dinner. I'll sound the bell when dinner is served. Okay. We're gonna have a nice conversation with Papa. I'm here to see you. You have to let me live my own life. It's too late, Father. I have my own life now. My own home, my own job. There's literally no way that I can... There's no way I can have a nice conversation with him. We're just gonna try one more time to just have... I'm gonna go see the maid. Something I can do for you. Yeah, that's it. Actually, I want to ask you something about working for my family. Does my mother treat you well? Has George been bothering you? I hope the old man George hasn't made too uncomfortable. He has something of a reputation with the ladies. He has been an absolute gentleman. Very charming indeed. I'm sure all the girls must have loved him back in his day. I'm sorry, I must get back to work. Okay, so you don't have any problem. I don't know what I can plant now, though. I have an idea. Alright, I'm going to take the broken glass. Okay. What's wrong with my mother? Okay. And then... should I even... I'm not even gonna go see her. Because that's like a little bit different from... That's like one of his questions. It's like, did you even go see her? No, I didn't go see her. Take the knife. Yep. Alright, dinner served. So let's be very cordial. Okay, what can I say? So everyone's not mad at me. Of course not. You and I will have words after dinner, George. Oh my gosh, I can't say anything. Why can't you ever keep your mouth shut? Perhaps I did speak out of turn. I'm sorry. I must have had too much wine myself. Okay, the meal was amazing. We know. I'm just gonna say none for me. I'm full, thank you. Happy birthday, Papa. Okay. Now... Oh no! I learned a lesson. Oh no. What if I want to leave? I was always wondering who screamed. I don't think this is going to go very well. He's going to pat me down and be like, why do you have this? Maybe I could stab the chief inspector. Alright, let's click through all this. Come on. Oh boy. Oh no! Ouch, I cut my finger. Why is there a piece of broken glass in your pocket? That's dangerous, you know. Afraid I broke one of my sister's mirrors earlier. Tried to conceal the evidence. Conceal it in the maid's room, perhaps? That's where we found the rest of the broken windows. I'm afraid I did. I was trying to frame her for it. I think that was rather cruel of you, Mr. Bruce. Yes, I suppose it was. I just didn't want to damage my relationship with my sister any further. Oh my gosh. No, that's out of the way. Let's move on to the interview. Great. Now that you've cut your finger. Maid says that you and the butler arrived shortly after 7. Later you went to speak to the maid again, which is curious. Why did you decide to visit the kitchen? To make sure my family is treating her well. Seems like a good reason. Apparently you had some concerns regarding the butler. George is a bit of a dirty old man. Yes, but turned out I was wrong. I did have concerns, but they were incorrect, as it turns out. Alright then. Later on, you had a conversation with your mother, Gloria, in the parlor. She told me that you were unusually cordial, something about wanting to apologize and make amends. I was being sincere. I see. Do you think it was slightly suspicious that you... No, I don't think it was suspicious. Well, very well then. She says you spoke briefly about your sister. Apparently you seemed quite concerned about her well-being. We were worried about her committing suicide. You went to see your father in the library. I understand your conversation became quite heated. I thought the conversation was quite civil. Really, apparently even your mother could raise from parlor. You discussed the prospect of you moving back to Dunchill. We did not. I've already made a life elsewhere. That's completely understandable. Let's discuss your conversation with the butler. You spoke about your mother's recent moods, yes? He seemed very worried about her. Sounded like she had been pushed to a breaking point. Interesting. Did you speak to your sister before dinner? No. Let's move on to the events that took place. There was some trouble involving the butler, I gather. Apparently you were offended by his behavior. Servants really ought to know their place. I think that's what we're gonna say. It's kind of messed up, but whatever. I don't know how my family puts up with it. Servants should really know it, to keep their mouths shut and do as they're told. That seems rather unfeeling. I will not apologize for having high expectations. Now I need to ascertain your location at the time of your sister's death. Where were you? I was on the ground floor. I was in the library or foyer. I was in the West Wing for sure. Wait. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what it was. I guess it's the foyer? No, it's not the foyer. Parlor? I don't know what it's called. What's it called? Oh, man. So the foyer is... Definitely not looking this up. Let's see. I think it's a parlor. I was in the parlor. Ah, yes, your mother mentioned you were in there with her. As I said earlier, we have completed our initial search of the property. The search did not turn up any items which gave me cause to suspect anyone in particular. I am curious about the murder weapon. The knife used to stab your sister in the back came from the kitchen, making the maid the suspect. However, we have established that you were also in the kitchen this evening. It's all very interesting. I'll be completely honest with you now, Mr. Bruce. Your behavior this evening has given me cause for suspicion. What did I do? What did I do? I am slightly curious about the maid, but I doubt she was involved in this. Why? Despite any question marks about your mother, I don't think for a moment that she did this. Given the weapon that was used, obviously suicide is not a realistic possibility. Now, what happens next? I'm going to ask you to accompany me to the station for further question. Am I under arrest? No, unless you want it that way. Oh my gosh. Well, happened again. Well, I think I'm gonna stop there. So this is the deed. Maybe I'll come back to it. Maybe I'll try one more time, but I'm done for now. And yeah, I hope you liked it. If you did, as always, like, share, comment, subscribe. Let me know how I could have been better. And as always, this is Coffee Outgoing. Cheers.